sent the email today.
Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll check my email.
I sent it to the Eternal Life Corral email list. It's all right.
As long as the church is happy.
I believe so. We showed up almost exactly at the same time.
When you're
A
set.
couple of months ago.
Okay, well, that's when I showed up. So I guess I have no memory of the church not having.
Yeah.
But the technical wizards were around this place is incredible. Orders of magnitude. And now we can't work without it.
Right.
Carry them out, try to shove it. They said,
Oh, rich technology.
Yeah. We take it off now so the choir can hear the piano. It helps. This one, and then there's one up there as well. Up next to the, in front of the organ.
Good evening. Welcome to the First Religious Society Unitarian Universalist in Newburyport, Massachusetts. I'm Joanna Fernandez, and I have the privilege of serving as your worship associate this evening. This is a service of healing and forgiveness in honor of Yom Kippur, the Jewish Day of Atonement. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. We are glad you are here. If you're new and you'd like to connect, please fill out one of the blue cards in your pew and hand it to an usher or worship leader as you depart. We come together at FRS in person and online, committed to love, peace, and justice. Our mission and our invitation to all of you is to come as you are, journey together in love, act with courage, transform our world. If you are worshiping online and would like to access this evening's order of service, please click on the link just below the live stream. If you would like a large print order of service or hymnal, please ask an usher and they will be happy to help you. Every time we gather, it is such a blessing. So let us give ourselves to it. It's good to be together. Welcome once again.
I invite us to come into this place for this time, for this sacred time, to bring into our hearts and our minds those things that call us forth to return, to turn and return to a place of wholeness and forgiveness. Our call to worship are words by Kathy Cartwright Chow, and I invite you into them and into your heart. This is a place to forgive and be forgiven. A place to forgive and to be forgiven for those we have hurt in any way, whether through words or deeds or thoughts. Here is a place to forgive and be forgiven. For the excuses we have made just to be right, here is a place to forgive and be forgiven. For the blame we have placed on someone else again and again, here is a place to forgive and to be forgiven. For passing up the opportunity to help because we were afraid, here is a place to forgive and be forgiven. For hiding the truth from someone, for working beyond the anger and resentment, Here is a place to forgive and to be forgiven. For the times I've not felt heard, here is a place to forgive and be forgiven. Forgiveness is never easy, whether for yourself or someone else. Here is a place to forgive and be forgiven.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshonu b'mitzvosav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel yom tov. This is the candle lighting blessing, or bracha. It translates to, "Blessed are you, God our Lord, King of the universe, who has hallowed us through his commandments and has commanded us to kindle the lights of the holy holiday." The candles and prayer are used to commemorate many different Jewish holidays and even the important ritual of Friday night Sabbath, with a change of just a few words. The motion of circling 3 times with hands near the 2 lit candles is the traditional way of welcoming the Jewish holiday in. The eyes are usually covered with one's hands, which enhances the ability to focus on the prayer before seeing the lights. The blessing welcomes the holiday or occasion in with the connection of fire. Rosh Hashanah, or the 10 days of introspection and renewal, comes to an end and ushers in Yom Kippur. It is a day with a somber quality of fate and destiny, atonement, fasting, and more. But the other side to the holiday is of spirituality and compassion that connect one person to another and also to a higher spirit. Growing up, my family was not very observant of Jewish holidays or customs. Only one set of my grandparents was religious, and the tradition I shared with them was the Friday night Kiddush. This ritual marked the beginning of Shabbat, or Sabbath, signifying the end of the work week and our transition into a more spiritual space. The candles were lit, the table was set with the good china, dinner was special, and my grandparents dressed up. The pretty wine glasses with the silver rims were out. Grandma Bess recited the prayer that I just said with a few changed words to bless the occasion. This is probably the most observant thing our family ever did during the summers visiting my grandparents on Miami Beach. But it has lasting significance to me, the idea of slowing down and connecting with the spiritual. These are official Shabbos candlesticks handed down to me from my other set of grandparents.
Let's rise together in body or in spirit and join together in hymn number 389, Gathered Here.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour,
be seated.
On Rosh Hashanah, it is written, on Yom Kippur, it is sealed.
That this year people will live and die, some more gently than others, and nothing lives forever.
But amidst overwhelming forces of nature and humankind, we still write our own book of life.
And our actions are the words in it, and the stages of our lives are the chapters.
And nothing goes unrecorded ever. Every deed counts. Everything you do matters.
And we never know what act or word will leave an impression or tip the scale. So, if not now, then when?
For the things we can change, there is teshuvah, realignment. For the things we cannot change, there is
tefillah, prayer. For the help we can give, there is tzedakah, justice. Together, let us write a beautiful book of life
for the Holy One to read.
The words to the chalice lighting are written in your order of service. Please join me in saying them together. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
In a moment, we are going to partake in a shared meditation on forgiveness. I will share the words of UU Minister Reverend J.E. Abernathy Jr., which will be followed by 2 minutes of meditation and silent reflection. So I invite you now to find a very comfortable seated position, whatever is most comfortable for you. Once you are settled, I invite you again to close your eyes or find a comfortable focal point as you listen to Reverend Abernathy's words and then sit in silence. I will call you back when it is time. All our lives we have been told to seek that which is good, to turn our faces from the dark and toward the light, toward beauty, toward truth. But the truth is that the world is not always good. The light we seek casts shadows, and there is a brokenness amid the beauty. Our world is far from perfect, and so are we. We strive to be in right relations with one another, but there are times when we are left angry or disappointed, even as we sometimes anger or disappoint others. Whether it is the harsh words said by a loved one, the loss of a friendship, the carelessness of a stranger, or the scars left behind by a childhood trauma. Bad things do happen. We cannot seek truth, beauty, and light without acknowledging and affirming that which is false, broken, and in shadow. For all of these exist within us as well. In these minutes of silence to follow, let us remember the wrongs we have endured, the imperfections that we have perpetuated, that we may forgive them and ourselves, and forgive yet again. Let us undertake the work of forgiving ourselves and each other, that we may begin again in love.
When I think about this evening and its deep meaning for our Jewish members and friends, and the opportunity that it gives us to begin again, to be honest with ourselves in the confines of our own heart. This is nothing we need to be sharing with someone else. I thought about tonight and what this offers us and what we do, and I realized that it's really about continuing on in love. Paul Tillich was a German theologian for whom I resonated a lot and learned a lot from in sort of some alternative orthodoxy. Sin has been used in very damaging ways. The concept of sin, what's taught about it, what's said to people about it. I mean, it kills people, kills their souls, kills their spirits. Original sin, and there's so much damage that has been done and continues to be done. And I know those roots run deep because I've sat with grown adults who've said, I can let go of all these other things for my tradition, but I can't let go of hell. It just got in there. Sin, hell. So what Paul Tillich said, and what really changed this for me, is he thought of, first of all, he thought of God as the ground of our being, right? So what that means is, when are we the most genuinely aligned with who we are? And that is the ground. A lot of traditions, right? It's about grounding ourselves. And that sin is when we misalign from our true self. That the sin, concept of sin, is when we step out of that ground, when we move away from our true self. And the reason that really resonates with me is because I've been there. I don't know about any of you. Maybe it's all about words, but when we're not true to who we are, whether it's values or a calling or a hobby or a love or an anger, we lose part of ourselves temporarily. It's like the light goes out. We've stepped out of the ground of who we are. When we allow a situation or other people to do that to us, that's a tragedy. So I just offer that, and then I'm going to tell a story, but that's also about ground. But it really opened things for me to understand that it's literally a separation from who we are. And that the way back to that is to name it, acknowledge it. Sometimes it's about making amends to another person or a group of people or ourselves, and then to continue on in love, which requires some degree at least of acceptance. I think forgiveness can be a tall order that in many ways I see forgiveness as grace. I don't think we can will it. I don't think we can force it, but we can name, we can accept, we can make amends, we can forgive ourselves, and we can continue on in love. So the story I wanted to share with you, as we're going to be doing a ritual ourselves about this, the things we want to forgive ourselves for, even ask others for forgiveness for, even if it's in our hearts, if not in body, is a true story that a friend of mine told me very recently. And as soon as she did, I was like, oh, that's the Yom Kippur story. So this dear friend of mine has she used the term, this is her word, a deformed foot. And she's in her mid-60s, and this has caused her a lot of pain all through her life. And it's not apparent to people. She doesn't use crutches or a wheelchair, but she's tried everything under the sun to not have pain in her body. I could go through the litany of them. And more or less, she functions well, right? But it has kept her from some of the things she loves the most. She loves to hike, and found herself doing that less and less. So she told me a story about how she and her husband recently went to Montana, and they used to go there years ago as a younger couple, and it just holds a lot of her beautiful truth for her. And she said, he said to me, her partner, I'm going to go out and I'm going to hike that mountain. It's 2 miles up and back, a mile up, a mile back. I completely understand if you're not, I mean, he wasn't angry. I completely understand if you stay home. And she said, I don't know what came over me, but I just decided to go. And she said, it hurt, and it hurt. But I knew, in this case, that I actually wasn't hurting myself, that I wasn't making this injury worse. I mean, again, this is not like a medical recommendation. This is a situation where a woman knew what she was doing was not actually going to hurt herself, though it caused physical pain. And she said, I went step by step, and he went with me, and it hurt, and it hurt. And she said, and then the longer I kept walking, all of a sudden I realized it wasn't hurting quite as much. And she kept walking. And she got to the top of this place they were ascending to, and she couldn't believe that the pain had not gone away but subsided. And she said, as we reached the top, a rainbow came and just filled the sky. And we talked about that. And I thought about this evening, and I thought about what pain are we carrying? What pain do we carry that keeps us from walking, metaphorically even? And what would happen if we continued on in love and walked? Maybe with someone beside us. Certainly we always have our own self and spirit. And what if step by step we let it go? And I see the things we hold on to, the things we don't forgive ourselves for, don't want to acknowledge, don't want to name, the places we step out of the sacred ground that is who we are, that's the pain. And what if we could just walk? What if there's a rainbow at the top? So my question to all of us as we begin to prepare for the ritual is, what's your pain? What is it that is stopping you from walking or talking or stopping or speaking your truth or picking up a paintbrush or loving yourself? How might those things be hindering our ability, your ability to continue on in love? So the ritual will be, and I'm going to ask us questions, but I want to explain the sort of movement, will be to come forward and to pick, these are actually bath bombs. These are middle schoolers who learned how to do this. Thank you, Joanna. They will dissolve in this water. And there was something that felt so much better about that than like a stone. We are inviting a release of these things. So you pick one up, you put it in, and then I'd like to invite all of us to then just step back and stay, so we form a sort of best as we can sort of circle, right? Witnessing each other. And then we'll go back to our seats. I'll say another word, and we'll close the service with song and a litany of atonement. So I invite you now to take a moment as I ask these questions. Where have you stepped out of the ground of your being? Have you acted in anger? Maybe even falsely accused someone else, blaming them for what is your own pain. Holding those images or people or situations gently in your mind. Where have you stepped out of the ground of your true self? What passion are you calling impossible, ridiculous? Where has fear held you back? Who do you need to forgive? When have you allowed someone else or a situation to move you out of the ground of your being, believing that you are not enough, that you didn't have what it takes? Let yourself bring to your mind now people, starting with yourself, to whom you want to make amends, to whom you want to say, I am sorry. And lastly, my friends, I'd ask now, allow the images to come into your mind's eye of the people to whom you've given yourself, your joy, your ground. Who have you not forgiven that is holding your beauty? May we put all of those intentions, all of those situations, all of them, and even the ones that have not been spoken yet to yourself, but are there nonetheless, into this ball that each of us will pick up. May we feel the heaviness and the weight of this ball. And as we place it into the water, the shared water, may we imagine the possibility of returning to the ground of our being and letting those things go, even for a moment, even a little bit. The time will come soon when you can imagine what's next, but for this moment, may we be brave enough to let some things go, to forgive ourselves and forgive others. So I invite us all to come forward and to choose a bath balm of healing. I was curious. What's happening? What strange colors?
Bubbling.
It's bubbling. So, my friends, again, and maybe we can sing here, maybe, but I want to say thank you. I want to invite you to say thank you to yourselves for being just warriors of love. People who are willing to say, no, nothing's going to keep me from that rainbow. May our hearts know peace. May our bodies know safety. And may our minds know rest. Amen. We're going to stay and sing together with Reverend Laurel and Nick leading.
So one of the centerpieces of the Yom Kippur liturgy is the Vidu prayer, which means confession. And it includes the Ashamnu, which is an alphabetic acrostic listing sins we have committed. So it begins, Ashamnu, we have become guilty, we have destroyed our sense of spirituality. Bagadnu, we have betrayed, we have been disloyal. Gazalnu, we have wronged. And when we do this, we frame it in the collective, saying, we have done this, not I, because we know that each individual person hasn't committed all of these various sins, but that our actions affect each other, and the community is repenting as a whole. So this is a shared endeavor about our community and how we are together, not just a personal one. So as a community, this prayer is recited, and when Jews gather on Yom Kippur for this prayer of confession, they stand with a bent posture and their fist knocking on their chest with each of these verses. Because Yom Kippur is a really visceral holiday, right? This is a day of fasting and singing. If you've done the fasting, which includes no water, it's pretty intense. And I think this posture of humility and this sort of shared knocking is a way of expressing the seriousness of that collective confession. And I think, too, that of the way that suffering lives in the body, and there's something that can be really cathartic about this sort of tapping on your own chest and doing it in a congregation of other people doing the same. And part of that, I think, is that it rattles loose some of the tension of holding guilt and grudges and what has been done to us and what we have done. This is not a synagogue. I'm not a rabbi or a cantor. So we're going to do this adaptation of the Ashamnu, which is in English, and Nick is going to lead us. So this is a call and response, so I'll speak a line, and then everyone will respond in singing the refrain. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. And if you feel so moved, I invite you to do this sort of knocking on your chest and this posture of humility as we go through this song. So Nick is going to sing it through once so we can hear it.
Forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
ourselves and each other, we begin again in
My friends, as we prepare to go from this sacred time, this unique and once gathered body of souls, beautiful, beautiful people, may we go feeling lifted up. May we go knowing that we too are part of the human race. No worse, no better, just like everyone else. We love, we make mistakes, we hurt, we forgive, we try, we dream, we love. Go in peace, my friends. Return again in great joy. Amen.
Lech floor.